A little bit nervous, but like I'll work through it. It's no big deal. I think we're starting. Yeah, there we go. All right, so here's something that Suzuri does in his runs in this game a lot of time. That's I still haven't done in my own. Is that he goes for this mix here for wheel off these two beam enemies. These two wall dudes, I mean. I think he's gonna try again right now. Yep. And see if he can get it. Nice, he got it. That's really hard to do. It's like really late into the powers in that there. So basically what he did there is he sucked up to wall dudes, and when you suck up to enemies that give you a power normally, they'll go through a roulette of a set amount of powers essentially. And you can really just time any time to get any sort of power in the game you want, except for I think UFO or Invincibility Candy. So that's what he did there, and using wheel on the first 3 levels of the game will actually save about I think 5 seconds over not using it. So it's pretty significant. I mean, I was gonna change game my player, I guess. Alright, now what he's gonna do here is he's gonna get rid of his wheel, then suck up 2 Brawn Birds, which will give you a double star. Now, as notice to kill the main boss there, the giant Papa Bros, in order to just in one hit. And when that happens, well, that's just how it happens there. You get a double star. It will kill a lot of main bosses in one hit, which is the important part. It'll go through a lot of enemies without any sort of like problems whatsoever too. You're also gonna see Suzuri timing his A or B presses right here on at the very end of each level on those cloud mini games. That's really hard to do. You have to time it very precisely. You can't just like mash it, or else you'll miss it a lot of time. So that's one of the hard parts of this game is just timing that correctly. But if everything goes correctly, you should be getting 7s every single time. And more specifically, you'll be getting 7s like towards the very bottom of the cloud too. Alright, he's gonna get rid of wheel in this next room here for burning. Burning is also a very fast fire in this game, probably being the second fastest, just short of wheel. And there we go. He's using burning for the rest of his world up until the boss of his world. Unfortunately, here there's no double star he can get before his next mini boss, so he's gonna have to fight it burning. This is Mr. Frosty. You'll see him later. He's a little bit annoying to fight, but in this case, shouldn't be too bad. He's gotta bonk your hand against the wall here a few times with burning, and that's it. This room here is a little bit annoying. There's a lot of enemy luck in this game with how their movement patterns go occasionally, so you have to be very careful and work off of that. So this shouldn't be a very execution-heavy game. You also have to do a lot of improv too, like on the fly, if, like certain stuff happens with the enemies. They got Invincibility Candy, which is a staple of the entire series, essentially. You just get invincible for like 15 seconds or so, just run through enemies. And after 1 through 4 there, we have the boss, which is Wispy Woods. Now it's actually faster to use a different power against Wispy Woods, but instead, since burning is faster for the next 2 levels, we're going to be using that instead. So it'll take about 12 hits. Now usually you have to do here is time it correctly. If you just spam burning, then it won't get all the hits optimally. You have to just do it just in time. Every single time. So if it weren't for burning and 2-1 here, it'd be a lot more complicated of a level to do. But burning allows you to go very fast in this part. Throughout the entire thing. You need that up until I think the 4th room of a 2-2. If you time this burning correctly here, you can actually hit this oh, never mind, he did a strat there, I didn't even know about it. Okay, cool. So he actually just went past the crash bomb there by just doing a small low floats. That saves a few seconds every single time or so. Me and Suzuri actually have different, like, I guess I'll explain a little bit about, nah, we'll do later, but anyways, here in 2-2, he needs any sort of power for one of the rooms. Doesn't matter which power it is, but burring here is the fastest you can get for now. So it's important to have burring, I guess. He's gonna hop in the star, and as soon as he crashes onto the ground, he's gonna turn around immediately and just get rid of his power. If he does it correctly, he'll get another double star out of one of the enemies inside one of these blocks. Just kind of trapped there forever. Pretty sad. But yeah. You'll kill this wheelie, which will give you wheel, as you can probably imagine. Now, a small little movement thing you can do with wheel in this game to save some frames is every time you go into a door, you can actually run out of wheel, run out of the animation to cancel it. That saves time overall and going through doors. I think like 0.1 of a second, something like that. But it adds up overall, just how much he's willing to run. Alright, this level is the first instance of an arena, is what I call it. Basically, it's a room where where you have to kill a certain amount of all the enemies in the room that will spawn continuously until you can advance. Also, in this room here, you have to be very, very fast, or else you can't make it past that second fish you just saw in time before he hits him. And this damage boost right here is on purpose. It's faster just going around that Wall D rather. There's the arena I was talking about. He's gonna be using just regular Kirby for this one, and it allows him to just suck up enemies, just spit him out other ones. Simply enough. And there we go. I guess I'll explain a little bit of history of this game, because there's not a lot to explain in the next level. More recently, me and Suzuri have been running this game a ton, like over the last month or so. And we've traded our times back and forth between each other as to who has a better time and all that. Until it got to the point where we're both trading world record in it. Which now, I have a better time than him by 1 second as of yesterday. I have a 43.48 and his PB is a 43.49. He had a really tough run. It's really easy to lose runs in this game, because this game is really, really punishing if you lose like your powers or mess up movement or mess up a trick or anything. You can lose like multiple seconds if you just do any of that. So that's what happened to him like the other day, I guess. But it happens to the best of us. But yeah, we've been trading our runs back and forth a lot, and that's really what's been going on. It's been cool to see just improvement in this game because of that. Having competition in any sort of speed game is great because of that. Alright, but if you use the powers, if you fall down here, it actually negates your landing animation. I wasn't sure if he was going to do that, but yeah. Good stuff there. Now, the category he's running right now is 100%. 100% is actually the same between 8% and 100% for the first two worlds. But 100% means you collect all the switches in the game that unlock the overworld. Those don't appear until the very next world, though. You'll see that like in the first level of the next world. What is unlocked basically are just stuff like mini games, or mostly mini games, but also a museum, which will give you a certain power for a certain world. Like in Bury Building, for instance, in the very next world, you get Hydra out of the museum, which is extremely useful. What Suzuri doing in this room is doing a lot of wheel jumping. What wheel jumping is you press A, the B, and hold down A, and that allows you to jump and use wheel at the same time. That saves a lot of time on movement if you just continuously do that. And now we have one of the best powers in this game, in my opinion. They have high jump. I love high jump. In this game in particular, you can actually cancel high jump out of the animation, which if you do that, it just saves a lot of time on movement. There's other games like Kirby Street Squad, for instance, you can't cancel out of it, so you have to go through entire animation before you can actually use the high jump. And it's useful in this game because you can actually, when you cancel your high jump, it actually has damage itself, which will kill bosses faster and other, like, really tough enemies. So there we go, that's the paint roller. I forgot to explain that last. You can go there top right, the bottom right, or the bottom left. It's worse luck if he goes to the bottom left, could waste about 2 seconds. But he got average luck there, which is bottom right. That's totally fun. So there we go. The fact that you can cancel high jump also makes it go inside of doors like that really quickly. Now, this boss gave him a pretty good pattern. That clock mini boss though can be a little bit tricky, because sometimes he'll give you a weird pattern where sometimes he just won't stop moving when you want him to, and he'll just run into you. It's a little bit weird. Okay, here's where the first switch is. There. Now unlock the arena, which those arenas will just make you fight a mini boss. They're just there for completion's sake, I'm pretty sure. But thankfully for the completion of this game, all you do is unlock them, not actually use them. Which is awesome. Alright, 3-2 has one of the biggest sources of luck in this early part of the run. That's in the movement of a mini boss called Bugsy. He's towards the very end of this level, but he can waste a lot of time on his attack patterns and movement patterns. Particularly if he attacks you and grabs you, then he'll just give you like a 4-second long animation, something like that, you know, no big deal. The Suzuri here is grabbing sword in preparation for Bugsy. And he just did a strat there, I didn't even know, but that's faster. Okay, cool. He's getting ready to use penguins here because they breathe ice in front of them, which can freeze you now, give you into long attack animation. Or long damage. And yeah. He got grabbed there, unfortunately. Thankfully, he got a really fast attack pattern from Bugsy when he grabbed him, so it didn't waste much time, but still wasted time, of course. But there we go. Now you can just bounce on all the enemies and on the end here, and just go to the very end of the level. Get this guy some more. I just got some more. Alright, 3-3 is also really execution heavy level too. And we use the high jump once again. This entire world, you're gonna see a lot of high jump, which is awesome. It's a great power to watch in my like IMO. Just because of how the movement is for it. But it's a really short level here. Just gonna be going these last few parts into the very exit, which is right here. One cool thing about this entire world is that it's literally called Buried Building. You're climbing a giant building the entire time. At the very end, you'll see a bunch of clouds after you get to the very top of this entire world. It's a nice little touch. We'll get there when we get there. Anyways, we have another arena in 3-4. This one's unique because the fastest way to go through this one is actually to get rid of your high jump and then get back halfway through the arena after you destroy a few enemies first. That's what Suzuri will be doing here. Oh no! Oh no! Ah, rip. So Suzuri could get his high jump back. So he's gonna waste a little bit of time on the next few levels. High jump saves a lot of time in the next level in particular because next level is a lot of vertical climbing, and you can kill the main boss of a 3-5 a lot faster with it. With high jump, I mean. So the backup strat should be grabbing swords somewhere along the way in order to. Oh no, never mind. He's gonna be getting Oh, there we go. That works too. He got this. He got the high jump from museum. That's very clever. Nice. Oh, and he missed the. Oh, that's really bad. So he just missed the invisibility candy there. He's gonna waste some time, unfortunately. Or it's making his part harder at least, not wasting time. Nice is just gonna go ahead and get sword anyways. Nice use of dagger strats, I guess. That was really cool, at least. Right there, what happened was Suzuri tried to time the A and B presses right at the very beginning of the cannon, and unfortunately, he probably pressed both of them a little too early, so he failed it. Sucks when that happens, but it just happens sometimes. This is go back and get in high jump again. This high jump is really useful for not only this level, but for next level too, in one part. That crash bomb you just float above, you can actually, if you time it correctly, you can time it somewhere you can use a high jump in front of him, which saves like 2 seconds, I think. But it's a cool little time save. Here's another room where you have to wait for the door to open. These aren't really difficult or anything, just kind of there because they're in the first game. Oh, I didn't even explain, but this game is actually a remake of Kirby's Adventure for the NES. So you see, if you played that game, you probably recognize a lot of this game too. Like, that room looks a little bit different in Kirby's Adventure, if I remember right. This is the first dark room of the game as well. In these rooms, they have the power lights, which are these cool ghosts of a halo and sunglasses. They give you the power light, which will light up these rooms. That's useful for later, not in the run, but in particular, just mostly in casual play. Alright, so now we have Mr. Shine, Mr. Bright. Which one is able to be attacked first is completely random. It's a 50-50 guess. And this time, Suzuri guessed wrong. It was Sun to attack first. Okay, Mr. Shine. All you need to do to kill them is just do 3 high jumps and cancel them. That's all I need to do. It's pretty simple. Alright, now we're at Bear Building into Grape Garden, which we just climbed a giant building, and now we're in the clouds. Nice little touch there. This building is literally a skyscraper. Alright, the high jump's useful here, and then we're just gonna switch to UFO in this next room, which UFO is useful for pretty much one thing in particular, and that's just getting the 100% requirement in this next level. Which is right there, right through all those blocks. It's inside a star, you can see just a little bit. And then after he gets out of this room, he's gonna get rid of UFO, slide down into this door, and get Tornado. which is going to be useful for a few levels. Or it's going to be useful for the next level for just a little bit. It doesn't save a whole lot of time, it saves just a little bit, up to the point where it's useful. He just... Oh my god. He just got a burning mix from those enemies there. I don't know how he knows these things. Alright, so Suzuri's done a lot of work in this game. More recently, we started running it a lot more. And some of the things he's found were just a bunch of random mixes to save time. Some of them are using this run as well. Like, he found the 1-1 mix that I used earlier. There's also one in 6-6 he's probably going to use for burning as well. But I didn't know he knew about that one. That's a cool backup strat. But yeah, that was awesome. Alright, anyways, at the very end of this level, there's gonna be 2 Papa Bros seniors he's gonna be facing. Before the room, he's gonna be getting a spark though, which is gonna be very useful for the fight, to say the least. Right there. These Papa Bros seniors usually jump after you move around twice. Sometimes they won't do that, which is actually a good pattern there, because ultimately you want the right Papa Bros senior to jump, after two bounces, and left them jump after 4 bounces, which you got the best pattern there, but unfortunately you play a little bit wrong. I'd say just a little bit of time on damage and stuff. Alright, this is one of my favorite levels right here, 4-3. The gimmick of this level is the win you'll see in this room here. Basically go faster. Zuri has a different strat than I do. Usually I go on the very top of those blips you see up there. But what he's doing is he's going on the very bottom, which saves just a little bit of time, but it's a lot harder to do. Actually, I think it's about the same time length, but either way, it's still a pretty awesome strat to see, as you can probably tell. And yeah, he has to go against the wind there after getting the 100% requirement in this level. And you can do either this room here with just no power or spark, and they're both about the same speed. He chose you spark this time, of course, because he already had it. Alright, next level is 4-4. 4-4 has a lot of enemies in a lot of the rooms. Or at least the first 2 rooms. They can be a little bit tricky to go past. So let's see if we can do them correctly. The second room in particular looks a lot harder than it seems to actually go past all the enemies, because there's just a bunch flying at you at the same time. But all you gotta do in this next room is you have to just stay to the center, essentially. And then you'll get past all these birds here. Like that, see? And now a little bit of movement tech here is gonna be canceling wheel before you actually turn around with him. Or no, he's doing something different. Okay. So he's actually turning around with wheel and then canceling it after turn animation, so that he saves a little bit of time movement, I think. That's pretty ingenious. It's awesome. Alright, anyways. The little strat you do for Fan here, as soon as you hit the ground there, you turn around so that your momentum stops, and that gets you right in front of Fan to the point where if he does any weird attack patterns, he can't actually attack you and get rid of your spark. It's a good level right there, actually. Alright, 5-5 starts off with the invincibility candy section. It's gotta run through it normally. And then we have another arena. This arena is my favorite in the game because you get to use throw with it. This is the only really instance of throw in the run. So, in particular, that's awesome in of itself, I guess. But this is gonna line up all the enemies in the section just with throw, so I can just kill them all in just a few throws. Like those, for instance. And even if he gets that pattern from that purple enemy, he can actually just destroy him anyways, pretty easily. And that's pretty nice still. It wasn't optimal because he's got a weird pattern from that purple enemy, but it was still really, really good. Now for us to love is good he's burning. Just needs to get through this Gordo here, in between the spikes. Alright, here's 4-6. 4-6 is, it's a level. The beginning part of this level has all these frogs which move about randomly and can run into you whenever they want to, essentially. So hopefully it doesn't happen to him here. Almost did, but he thankfully took one of them out. And now the second room has a mini-boss fight with that clock I mentioned earlier. It's a little bit annoying to fight here in particular because he can slide into you randomly. If he does that, then that's bad. He's just get hurt. But thankfully, he got a pretty okay fight. And now here's a switch that you probably didn't find casually. It's right there in the darkness. But in order to actually get a light enemy to actually light that up, you have to go farther into the room than backtrack for that. So you probably missed that one because of that, because you didn't really expect to backtrack there, to say the least. But yeah. And now for the boss of this world, which is Krakow, he's gonna be getting high jump, which is conveniently just inside the actual fights. So that's even getting immediately. And you need that for this level in particular, or this boss in particular, because unlike any other bosses in the game, there's a little level before it he has to go through. As you see, he'll be canceling his high jump right before on top of these clouds to save a little bit of time. Now saves actually a little more time if you don't run into an enemy as you go up top here, because you have a little bit of lag frames if you do that. Now if done correctly, you can use 5 high jumps and 5 cancels to take out Krakow really quickly. Fortunately, it messed up a little bit there, but it's fine. He still got him relatively quickly, but unfortunately he did lose his power a bit. Good fight though, good fight. Alright, here's the Arcade Yard. The entire world is... Here's where the game starts to pick up and like get a lot more difficult than you might really think it is. In particular, this level is not too bad, but the next one is a lot harder because there's a lot of stuff in it that's really, really tight. Anyways, you go into this room here, which is not normal like exit to the last room, but it gets you to a place where you can get one up and all that. And also has a what is it? Stone in it, which is important for that last room. Is you can go right into the 100% requirement room with a button. Alright, now 5-2 has the most powerful ability in the entire game. It's a power you probably ignored, like casually, but it's actually the most powerful power in the entire game. And that is Ball. He'll be getting this at the very end of this room. You have to keep that for until the very end of this level too. We're just gonna destroy Bonkers with it. One of the main bosses. So here we go. Here's Ball. Ball is a little weird in its mechanics. What you have to do with Ball is they have to make sure that you got bad luck in that room. You basically have to make sure, Ball, that you're hitting one of the enemies as it's going up or down. The in between of going up or down is where it does damage. If you get hits, while you're on the ground or on the ceiling, for instance, then you'll just lose your power instead. So let's see if it gets a good fight here against Bonkers. Yeah, nice. So yeah, that's why it's so powerful. It just killed Bonkers in 2 hits. But Sword, for instance, has a parallel to that, so you kill it in I think like 4 or 5 hits. Another good thing about Ball is that you actually fall faster at Ball. So it's really awesome in that case. Just for movements. Unfortunately, it's not useful for his next level. Next level, we're going to get high jump again. The fast way through this room is actually avoiding all the enemies and doing it normally. But the enemies give you lag frames if you hit them again. So that's why you don't want to hit them. Ooh, that was a little different. Usually I get that first wheel that appears, but you got the wheel inside all the logs there. That's cool. But yeah, he's been using a few wheel jumps again to get through his room very, very quickly. And then he's gonna do the wheel cancel to get out of wheel immediately there. He missed 1 wheel jump, it seems, but totally fine. Well, as long as he didn't die in that room, that's totally okay. That's a spike room. The spike room is really easy. It's really easy to get hurt in the spike room, to say the very least. And lose your power. But thankfully, you don't actually need your power at all in that level, no matter which one you have for its next level, because the game wants you to use burning here. This is why it gives it to you immediately. It gives you all these giant spike pits to just burn over. So yeah, that's what we gotta do here. Now, if you line up correctly, you can actually burn over this big platform here. And that was nice. He lost a little bit of height on the last burning there, but thankfully he recovered with another burning. Anyways, here's another arena. This one's cool to watch too. But it's the second last arena we see in the run. There's only one more, and the second last world. It's gonna be another 100% requirement coming up soon. Oh, he's going for ball strats. Okay. The strat I just did there, ball over that pit, is extremely dangerous, and I've lost many runs to it personally, just from misaligning my ball. If you misalign it whatsoever, you'll probably either bonk off of something you don't want to hit, or just fall into the pit below really, really quickly before it can even react to it and die. So that was a little risky, but I'm glad I got that, thankfully. And once again, you fall faster at ball, so he's just gonna use that for the last turn to get through all these pigs. Flying pigs, nonetheless. 5-5 is a really, really hard level. Like, to do really well. So hopefully he gets this done correctly. First I was going to go to the remove the button here, which he needs to fire his cannon off to actually get to, so high jump and right to the cannon. It doesn't use 100 for the rest of the level. And 8% you'd use ball for his level to kill the mini boss at the very end. For 100%, since you have high jump already, you have to use that, which is not much slower whatsoever. That's a good thing. But yeah, we'll also be using the power that the mini boss gives to you, which is burning. Burning is pretty great, as you probably saw earlier in the run. You don't see as much later on the run for obvious reasons, because you have a lot faster powers, but it's pretty cool. He's lined himself up very precisely here. Thankfully he did. He was able to stop just right before Fireline to just kill him and take his burning. I didn't explain this earlier, but high jump does damage if, like, does more damage if you're closer to an enemy. So in that case, he killed Firelion in 3 hits, where it's really easy to kill Firelion in 4 hits. So you just misalign yourself just a little bit. So that was really good there. There's a voice crack chats. There's 2 voice cracks, Chad. You're welcome. Now in this room, he's gonna be using wheel at the very end, or he's gonna get 2 wheels together to get a hammer. Do 1 more mix. This is a mix that was found a while ago for hammer, and that's gonna be useful for the very, very end of this world. In particular, oh no, this is bad. All right, good. So in particular, he's gonna use that for Heavy Mole, which is the boss of this world. That's gonna kill it really quickly, but also you need it in particular in 100% for the requirement in this level, just through this door right here. You need it for the steel blocks, which is gonna be destroyed by either a double star, a burning, a hammer, or stone, I think. So yeah, and underwater you can only use hammer, so that's important to use that hammer for that. That's really the best place you can get hammer, is just right there from those 2 wheels in the beginning of this level. It's very easy. You can mix for any power in the game. So in that case, when you combine wheel and wheel, the first power that appears in the mix for wheel and wheel is hammer, because wheel is right before hammer in the list of powers in the mix table there. Anyways, you gotta get power in there, Molly. Not Mole, in Heavy Mole. What happens to Heavy Mole is that he can swing his bomb arm and hit you with it, and that will actually give you power, which is really bad. So thankfully, you got a really good power in there, where he didn't get hurt at all. And now in 100%, you have to keep hammer for until 6-6, or 6-2 rather. And unfortunately, you lost it there, but thankfully there are backup strats for if you lose hammer, which should be a pretty easy one in this next room. You have to wait for these 2. That's okay. That's new. What is he doing? Yes, he's doing something. Okay. Oh wow! I didn't even know you can do that. Apparently, Will can break steel blocks. I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't even know these backup strats he's doing right now with these mixes. What I usually do is get those 2 sparks before the doorway, and just wait for the mix to end, which will give you a hammer every single time. But dang, that was different. Suzuri is a madman with all these mixes. I've never seen like half of these he does. That was really cool. But yeah, you need hammer or any sort of power that destroys steel blocks in this level. And you need that as well for this next parts. But you don't need to destroy steel blocks, you need to actually get through a wooden peg, which is a little bit different. To get through those, you need, I think, either just hammer or stone for that. And he has a mix right there, which I actually do know of this time, thankfully. There's a mix right there for Stone, which is the first power in that mix if you suck up Crash or and Beam together. And Stone get through a wind peg really quickly. So fun fact about World 6 here, Orange Ocean, is that every single level has a 100% requirement in it, one of those buttons. That's a little fun fact for you. So every single level is going to be going for one of them. So these levels are going to last a bit longer because of that. Alright, use Tornado in that part there so you can get past the UFO that moves randomly in the very last part of that room. It's a little safety strat. It's not faster, but it's for safety. I totally understand that. The thing about Tornado is that not only is it a pretty fast power to use, but it's also good for damage as well. Tornado lasts about 3 seconds or so, or about 2 seconds after you use it. In particular, in this main boss, he can get 5 hits on him optimally before he kills him. Or before he has to use another Tornado, I mean. Messes the fight a little bit there, which means they had to get rid of his star and just spit at him before, otherwise he'd be stuck in Tornado animation. But that was still good. But he used the hammer from blockers there in order to get through to access his area, using the steel block and all that. And then he uses laser, which is useful for just getting... Well, it's the only way to actually get this, or actually get inside his cannon here, because it'll flood against the wall, and go inside the wire. That's the only way to get that, so he needs a laser in that room to get it. And now in the last round in particular, there's going to be a few precise strats you can be using just the puffs out of Kirby's mouth, essentially, for the entire thing. A few Scarpers are going to be falling from the very top of the room down on top of them. So using precise puffs, you can just take care of them without having to lose any speed or anything. Like that. Oh, that was cool strats. He sniped the snail right in front of the doorway and at the very end, which allowed him to just jump right through those 3 enemies, the 2 coconuts and the enemy there. That was really cool. I didn't even know about that. Alright, 6-4 has this room here. This room is one of the most annoying rooms in the entire run, I'd say. There's a lot of movement inside of it, you lose a lot of time on. And also a few random things, like sometimes that sword enemy will just hit a enemy, you just spit at it, which is really bad in this case, because that's a fast way to get through that room. The spit enemy inside that sword enemy they just killed. But anyways, inside a very small crevice there is another button for 100%. And fun fact, if you actually jump on top of that platform there, you just right where the wire is, or to get out the wire, you actually have to restart the entire level if you don't get the 100% requirement there. So you could have lost about 45 seconds if you messed with his movement in the last section, which would have been really, really bad. Because you can't exit a level until you complete a level in this game. So yeah. Thankfully, after all these difficult levels, which World 6, by the way, is where a lot of difficulty of this game like, really, really ramps up. After all these difficult levels, you have a really nice, easy level, which is 6-5. It's really, really simple. There's only one thing that's a little bit random in this level, and that's in the last room where there's a well-dude who kind of moves just randomly and just can hit you whenever he wants to. Whitaker is 43.48 by me, but Suzuri's time is 1 second slower than mine. He's a 43.49. Alright, but he needs a fire. He needs fire for this cannon here in order to light it. That's what he's gonna get. And he goes inside the cannon, of course. Thankfully, after you light the rope there, you can't lose any time unless you still get inside the cannon. Alright. I'm gonna preface 6-6 really quick. 6-6 is one of the most random and hardest levels in the entire run. At the beginning, he's gonna be getting a double star or a burning mix in order to take care of some steel blocks at the very beginning. And that'll allow him to get the button for 100% really, really early. Without having to worry about anything. So there we go. Like I mentioned earlier, he's gonna burn right there. From those 2 sparks. That's Rad's faster than anything else you can do in this room. Because it saves time in the next room as well. However, the next room in itself is the pain. because it's a bunch of UFOs which have completely random movement. It can move wherever they want to, whenever they want to. So you can kind of lose your power at any point in this next room. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but just have to kind of just cross our fingers and hope that doesn't happen. Oh, that UFO almost sniped the crap out of him. Good stuff. Alright, so it looks like he's gonna... Yeah, he's gonna go for this strats. So from Mr. Frosty, you can get a double star from them if you get good luck. And oh, he spit it at the wall. That sucks. But yeah, if you get a double star from them, you can kill them both in one hit, which saves a ton of time. Otherwise, the fight's longer, of course, if you don't have power. And nice. Oh no! Alright, you got hit while you're sucking up an enemy, so unfortunately, the enemy just, just disappeared. That's another unfortunate thing that happens. So yeah. It really sucks, but oh well. Now, at the very end of this level, after all of that, he's going to be fighting one more arena, which is the hardest one in the entire run as well, because of the ice physics on the ground here. Kind of go slip in and slide in. Not much you can really do about it. Looks like there's a little bit different of a strat than I do, actually. Oh, he's at 1 health. So yeah, reminder, you actually got the button at the very beginning of this room, at the beginning of this level, which will heal you to full if you hit it. So with so much like difficult things after that button, it's really easy to just lose a lot of health and die. Which this might happen to Midnight here. Midnight also moves completely randomly around, and he just kind of gets slashed randomly like that, and can't do anything to predict it or try and not get killed with it. Yeah, for Midnight, all you can do with him is just hope that he doesn't block, hope that he allows you to attack him, and hope that he doesn't attack you too much. If you're at low health, like 1 health, 2 health, or 3 health, then you gotta be very careful in this fight. You can lose a lot of health very easily. And also, of course, it's completely random, so yeah. Not the most fun fight in the world, but nothing really to do about it. Alright, now it's time for 7-1. Suzuri found a strat for 7-1 here where you can use Sword and the next room after this one to save a ton of time. So he's gonna be doing that. What he's gonna be doing is pretty much of a... He's gonna jump and then use Sword midair to give you a circular pattern around you of swinging your sword. That saves a ton of time doing anything else in this room. And then like halfway through and at the very end of the room, he's gonna be getting his burning back. And what that does allows him to access the room with the button in it, because you need to destroy steel blocks in order to get to it again. So that was really good. And now, after this room, he's going to be getting a mix for ball from two enemies here, this stone and this sword enemy. It's the first power in its mix, so yeah, there we go. He's going to use ball for the rest of the room, because it's a little bit faster and just puffing up like that every single time. And now we have the most luck-based level of the entire game, and that's 7-2. 7-2 is a boss rush. The cool thing about this boss rush is you actually skip 3 of the bosses in it. It's usually there's 7, but if you go through at the door at the very top, you skip 3 of them. So you only have to fight 4 of them. However, all their patterns and everything are random. Especially this next one here, Fan. If he doesn't roll, it's really hard to kill him effectively, with ball at least. And nice, that was really good. Now, the third mini-boss is Bugsy. You can actually play Bugsy to stand up every single time, or to fly into the sky every single time, which will allow you to kill him very easily. So Suzuri didn't do that though, it seems. That was still pretty good. The last one is Fireline, which is a little bit tricky. Usually, Mario's get hurt on this boss a lot whenever you fight him. At least once, at least. It's also easy to destroy his body in accident, because he needs power burning here after the entire level to save time in 7-3 and 7-4. That was still pretty good. That was a good fight. That was good battle tower overall, I'd say. Now, thankfully, after all the bosses there, the game rewards you with Max Tomato. After, of course, the sword enemy. Just if you... So it'd be unfortunate if you had like 1 health and you didn't see a sword enemy coming and just slashes you and kills you before the Max Tomato there. That would be unfortunate, but thankfully you had burning, so you have to worry about that. Is he gonna fly over this room here with burning at the very beginning? I get to the very end just very easy like that. There's about 5 of them. save a little bit of time in this room on movements. He can actually puff in and out and keep jumping up the entire room. So there is a strat where you don't get hurt, which is probably a better option because it's easy to hurt the other way. But yeah, you can see a lot of just horizontal movement that's really, really fast in this room, or this entire level. That's why burning is very useful. Now here's 7-4. The first 3 rooms have enemy luck in them. That's pretty hard to react to. So hopefully he gets a good pattern here from all the enemies in this room. Yeah, there we go. He gotta have his burning. Thankfully, you don't need burning after his room though, so it's totally fun. His balls move randomly and just hurt you whenever they want to. You can lose a lot of health on those first 3 rooms there if you're not careful. And now his next 2 rooms, the one with the Bronze Burst and the one with the burning enemies, they're completely set patterns, so you don't have to worry about them. Oh, still got hurt by a burning though. That's unfortunate. Now, fun fact: if you get a mix in that level for UFO in any place and take it to this last room, you actually sequence break it and save some time that way. But unfortunately, the mix for UFO in any part of the level is really, really, really hard. So runners do usually go for it, or no runner has gone for it in a run because of that. And it's at the very end. If you miss it, you lose a lot of time because mixes take a while. So yeah, and it'll only be saved a few seconds in the last room. Anyways, this next level, 7-5, is very volatile at the very beginning. There is about 7 crash bombs on this first room. Whenever they hit the ground, well, that's a cool strat. Whenever they hit the ground, they actually waste a little bit of time. Just because of their animation and all that. But he's using 1 crash bomb to take out most of the health of this wheel enemy, or wheel boss. And you gotta get power from it too. So that was really good. That wheel enemy boss can actually hurt you a lot. And oh no. That's really... Yeah, there we go. It's really bad to mess up in this room in particular, because if you do, then all these burning enemies can hurt you. And if they hurt you, they get you to about a 3-second long knockback animation. I am not kidding. It's really long. And you can fall into a pit that way. Thankfully, got hurt over a pit that was pushing you upwards. But that was really good. Thankfully, they didn't die in that room. Alright, now here's my favorite level of the entire run. So, as I mentioned earlier, this game is... I don't know, where's it going? What's he doing? Oh, you missed it. He was trying to go for wheel there, I think, off a mix from these 2 sleep enemies. Oh, you missed it again. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's see if he can get it this time. He got it! Nice! Alright, so now he has wheel for his last level. Good stuff. So yeah, this is my favorite level of the entire game. So basically, this level is a throwback to Kirby's Adventure, which is the second main series Kirby game in the entire series. And go through it quickly and use wheel. And thankfully, you got a mix for it on the 7-3, which is awesome. But yeah. It's a throwback to the second Kirby game, which is... the first Kirby game, which is Kirby's Dream Land, and Kirby's Adventure is the second main series Kirby game. So basically, it's a throwback to the second Kirby game. A throwback to the first Kirby game to that second Kirby game. It's really cool too. It has music in the original game too as well. There's a little bit of concern in this room though, because one of the Kabus there, those brown enemies with the dead eyes and faces and stuff, the eyes and mouth. Anyways, those enemies there can kind of teleport randomly around and hurt you if you're not careful. All right, but in this last room, there's gonna be a mix for Ball. He's gonna get. If he gets his mix, he saves a little bit of time before King Deity. One of the last bosses of the game, if you can get it. Hey, got it, nice. So you need umbrella, it's not umbrella, you need a parasol and that wall do there, beam, in order to actually get that. It's the second power of that mix. And now here we go, we have King Deity. King Deity is completely random. He can do whatever patterns he wants to, but what you don't want to see is him sucking up. If he sucks you up at all, then you waste a lot of time. He'll spit you out and just kill you instead. That's not good. So hopefully Suzuri gets a good pattern here. Oh, I got bad pattern. That's fine though. So yeah, in a worker attempt of this game, it would be horrible if King D gives you a bad pattern because it can kill your run if you're a little bit far ahead. But yeah, that was pretty good. So here's the second last boss of the game, which is Nightmare Orb. I imagine a lot of people, including myself, struggled with this boss as a kid because he takes a ton of hits and he's really easy to get hurt on. But yeah, he actually has a completely set pattern, which is a nice part. The only thing that's a little bit random is whatever star patterns he shoots at, like in some phases, or like whether or not he shoots stars in some phases. But he's completely set otherwise. He's a cool boss though, either way. And it should be done really soon. And nice. That was a pretty good fight, I'd say. All the time I want to do is just predict his movements. But here's the final boss of the game, which is Nightmare. He has one of my favorite. He has a really nice theme as well too. Fortunately, you can't hear it because restream. But yeah. Anyways, all of Nightmare's patterns are set. The only thing that's not set is where he teleports sometimes. But his patterns of every attack he's gonna do is completely the same every single time. So he appeared there, for instance. Where he appears is random. Alright, so appear on the left. You save a little bit of time and movement if he appears on the left right there. The third pattern, he's gonna pop immediately and get hurt and gets vulnerable. Whenever he opens this cave is when you can shoot at him, essentially. There we go. It's gonna take a little bit of time here to set up, and then you hurt him. Now, if you actually jump into him, you deal a little bit of damage with your Star Rod, so you don't want to do that. You want to shoot the Star Rod instead. The time's coming up soon. Or one more, and hopefully you can get the good pattern here. If he's close to you, you can hit a star at that. That's time. So yeah, very good run by Suzuri. That was awesome, actually. And yeah, right here he's gonna get a screen for 100%. Let's see if he gets it, and there we go. So yeah, very awesome run. That's one of my favorite speedruns, actually. And Suzuri's putting a ton of work in this game, just doing a bunch of random strats he found recently, for instance. So, good stuff to him. You'll be seeing him as well in HDQ. He's running Kirby Superstar as a race, but ZZ Honky use pizza and Countdown 42. It's also running DKC3 as a race there too. And Kirby Dream 3 co-op, that's ending with Sword and Kirby. So yeah, we're seeing him in HDQ with that.
He's going to be a busy guy there.
Definitely.
I think he has 3 runs in the span of 24 hours, so...
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, they're pretty close together.
That's incredible. But yeah, thanks for watching RTA in Japan. Now we're going to move on to the very final run of the marathon, which is Kirby Superstar. So, there we go. Thanks everyone for having me, and have a good day.
Thanks for the commentary, Shasta.